Welcome to the Doshi demo video. The app has its roots in behavioral science and design, software engineering, particularly agile development practices and behavioral-driven design, and the findings of the Hayne Royal Commission into Financial Services. The app itself uses advice and content and the dialogue or conversations generated around these things to help build trustful relationships between those who seek financial advice in order to be financially independent and those who provide financial advice and services. It works something like a marketplace, and one that is largely driven by the needs of those seeking help. They can choose to connect or disconnect with a variety of one or more financial advisors as they see fit. A typical seeker type user of the app, when they sign in, is presented with a simple home screen which has two tabs, one called Learn, one called Advice. Two icons at the top, the megaphone being for notices or notifications from the system and its other users, and an information icon which generates context-sensitive tour and help information about the app. Of course, it also has a main menu, and that includes the ability to go and view and edit the profile of the individual, and for them, a window into how they're progressing. The system generates what we call a Doshi score, which is an independent, dispassionate algorithm that measures the level of affirmative action and outcome of this individual compared to all other individuals on the app. But here they can look at their progress in terms of advice that they receive and learning that they complete. They can also manage their connections with advisors and rate advisors, chat with these advisors and sign out at any time. If we return home, let's start with the Learn tab. Learn is a micro learning platform with a media player and quiz system that provides very specific financial literacy topics that are, we hope, reasonably engaging and brief enough to not consume much time in the user's day, but also meaningful enough to give some value. This is a current list of topics from the development version of the app. You can see they're quite extensive and cover a variety of topics. Some of these are presented via video using electronic whiteboards. Others are delivered via podcast format. So if we look at savings accounts, in particular term deposits, simple subject.
Hi, I'm Dr. Darryl Foy, co-founder of Doshi, and this is the second in a series of our micro-learning episodes dealing with saving for a first home. Today we look at term deposits. Once you have accumulated a decent lump sum from your savings efforts, you may opt to put it beyond your reach for a fixed term and earn as much interest as the market can pay via what is known as a term deposit. While you won't have the same access to your money as you would with an at-call account, the interest rate with a term deposit is usually better. Now, there are a number of pluses with investing in a term deposit. Firstly, you choose the term you want and how long you want your savings.
When the learning content is completed, the system automatically generates a simple multiple choice quiz. Which you can answer. They get up to 3 attempts. And the app enables them to look at the progress of their learning and see which topics they've covered. And you'll see here that micro investments, for example, this individual had 2 attempts which were incorrect and 1 that was correct. And so the advisor, as we shall see in the demo, is able to view the same information so they can find topics where perhaps the seeker has had a little bit of trouble getting to grips with it, and they can provide additional help. And it's an entree into a meaningful conversation between a seeker of information and a provider. Return home. As you notice, the second tab is what we call advice. This is a real-time library of microblog content provided by all the advisors that this particular seeker is connected to. They can scroll down and look at the individual tips that they're called, tips with advice from the particular advisor. And they can choose one of these topics to interact in a number of ways, actually. As you can see down the bottom of each of those, the user can see how many times it's been viewed and how many people have liked it or disliked it. But they can interact with any of these tips, the advice provided by the advisor, simply and quickly. They can like it themselves, dislike. They can enter into a dialogue with the advisor and other people who are connected with the advisor, as well as share the content if they think it's of any value. So here we can dislike it. We can look at the comments and the interactions between the advisor and this particular seeker, and we can add to that at any stage. And each of those dialogue components send as a notification to the parties that are connected to this particular topic. It's readily shared with others across a variety of channels. You can choose to email. And away it goes. The tips themselves are produced using a very nice, rich editor by the advisor, and so the material is far richer than you'd get, for example, in a chat message. So along with being able to communicate with the advisor through tips, you're able to use the app's instant messaging system if you want a more one-to-one personal interaction with your advisor or any of your advisors. It's simple, it's quick, it's neat, simple chat, dialogue, instant messaging, dynamics, including file attachments and the like. As you can see, this particular seeker is connected to more than one advisor. In terms of managing advisors, at any stage, the seeker can choose to connect, disconnect, and rate any of the advisors that they're connected with. Here we rate a 5, send it off, and the rating that's displayed is the cumulative average, if you will, of all ratings. And the great thing is the advisor, when they're looking at their collection of seekers that they're connected with, then they can see how they've been rated and other advisors have been rated by that particular seeker or group of seekers. And that is the guts of a seeker's view of Doshi.